समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या? समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
It's not been that long ago, so most of us will remember a famous rape case from 2017. What happened was this: a BJP MLA raped a minor girl. He denied it. The government sort of tried to protect him. The cops got involved. The father of the minor girl was picked up. He was killed in custody. All kinds of horrific tortures were put on the family in an effort to get them to withdraw the case. There was a public uproar. The MLA was arrested. He was tried. He was convicted. The court said yes, he'd raped that girl. There's another case about the murder of the father, but we'll come to that later. Now, you would think that justice was finally done because of public opinion, because of public pressure. Well, think again. What happened a few days ago is that the Delhi High Court, in its wisdom, looked at the case of this guy, whose name is Kuldeep Sengar, and said, hey, he should be let out of jail. He should be given bail. After all, he's got an appeal that's pending. And they found some arguments about whether he was a public servant or he wasn't to justify the decision. Now, fortunately, the guy isn't out because he's also accused of the murder case, the case that involves the killing of the father. But if he gets bail there, that's a real possibility because he's appealing that as well, then he'll be out, he'll be free. He'll be able to do what they tried to do the first time around to the girl's family and failed because of a public uproar. So the court was told you can't really let him out, even if you decide after he's been convicted that he's got to hang around having fun until his appeal is heard. It's still a threat to the girl's family. And the court said, no, we've asked him to stay away from the girl, so it's fine. There's no threat at all. Now you've got to wonder, this is a famous case. This is a case that had all of India up in arms. It's a case that involves a ruling party MLA. Do you not think that with this kind of public attention, justice would be done? Absolutely not. Welcome to the new India. No justice is done. Even if this guy was picked up, even if he was tried, even if he was convicted, it's okay. He's got to appeal 7 years later or whatever. So till then, he can go out on bail. He can do what he likes. That is what justice has come to mean in India. Now you've got to ask yourself, is this an isolated example? Well, no, it's not. It's actually a bit more than that because many people who've been accused of these crimes have it quite easy. Let's take the case of the so-called, he likes the term, saint, Asaram Bapu. Again, there were allegations of sexual assault on minor girls. Again, a reluctance on the part of the administration to do anything. Again, a public uproar. Finally, Asaram Bapu was arrested, was tried, was convicted. Happy ending? Well, not quite, because since he's been arrested, he hasn't actually spent that much time in jail. He's been out on so-called paroles, he's been relaxing, he's been having fun, and he gets parole after parole. You think that's bad enough? Well, let's take the case of Gurmeet Ram Rahim, who again you will remember was an important political figure who could sway votes in his native region because he had an alleged religious, shall we say, background. He even made movies glorifying himself, calling himself messenger of God. He too was again, after a public uproar, convicted of raping minor girls. What happened? Well, he's not been in jail that much. Every time there's an election or whatever, politicians make sure he gets parole and he's out, he wears his costume, politicians rely on him to swing votes. So the ultimate conclusion all of us come to is, yes, you and I can make a noise. We can force the government of the day through public opinion to arrest a guy. And because all these guys are usually guilty, there's no problem securing a conviction. And once upon a time, that would have been that. But no, that's not that any longer. Because when a guy is convicted, it doesn't mean he'll spend years in jail. He'll get parole, he'll resume some semblance of a normal life, or even he'll get bail because his appeal is still to be heard. That is the kind of situation we live in. It gets worse. It isn't a case of people getting parole or people getting bail. It's a question actually of the government wanting to prosecute people. You guys will remember the case of Muhammad Akhlaq, who was lynched on the grounds that he might have been carrying beef. He was a Muslim living in a very polarized, communalized environment, and he was lynched for no reason. His murderers have been charged with the crime. They've been brought to justice. But wait, that's not it. The UP government then told the court it wanted to withdraw charges against the murderers. Why? Well, it had various reasons. But even the court was horrified and said, you've arrested someone for a murder. You're in the process of prosecuting them. What do you mean you're going to withdraw the charges? And so the trial will go ahead. But that shows you what justice has come to mean in India. If you're politically well connected, if you represent a politically powerful point of view, then hey, justice doesn't mean anything. You can rape our daughters, you can commit whatever crime you like, you can lynch people, you can murder them, but nothing will happen because the government is on your side. Now, in the case of Kuldeep Sengar, the CBI has been so moved by all the public uproar, has said it will consider filing an appeal against the judgment giving him bail. Unfortunately, because he's involved in that murder case, he's still in jail. But will it work? Will our public opinion cause him to continue in jail? Or will they just wait for a few weeks, a few months maybe, till all this dies down? And will he be out on the street, free to resume his political career, free to terrorize the girl's family once again? We don't know, but the signs are not good. Because when the girl went on a protest, she was picked up roughly by the police and detained. It's not easy in these situations to tell who the victim is and who the accused is. Because in the kind of India we now live in, the accused is often treated as though he or she is the victim and gets away with everything. Convictions, things that used to matter so much, mean nothing. What's going to happen? Is this going to continue? I don't know. Ultimately, it depends on you and me. It depends on whether we can keep the public pressure up. But it's a sad commentary, I think, on our politicians that nobody is safe in this country, not a member of a religious minority, not even a minor girl, because if you're well connected, you can rape our children and you can get away.